What happens when one of the most chaotic, self-destructive guys in music quietly becomes the most disciplined man in the room? This isn't just another celebrity transformation video. This is about what happens when a man takes full responsibility for his life and shocks the world by doing it without noise, ego, or attention. Today, we're breaking down how Post Malone went from bloated, drunk, and numbing himself into oblivion to lean, sober, focused, and more alpha than ever. And more importantly, what you can learn from it if you've been slipping, coasting, or softening without even realizing it. If you're serious about becoming the kind of man who commands respect instead of begging for approval, hit that subscribe button now and join the Chad Guys Brotherhood. We don't just talk about power, we rebuild it. Post Malone's early fame was a cautionary tale wrapped in chart-topping hits. While his music was undeniable, hits like Rockstar, Congratulations, and Better Now blew up overnight. His lifestyle was equally as intense. He was on record drinking 3-4 bottles of rosé per day. He'd go on stage with a cigarette in one hand and a red Solo cup in the other. During interviews, he was slurring words, spacing out, and openly talking about how he probably wouldn't live past 30. This wasn't performance art, it was real decay, a man riding fame straight into the ground. He once said, "There was a time I had a beer in my left hand and a cigarette in my right, and I thought that was cool." That was Post at his peak cultural relevance and lowest personal standard. He had money, fans, success, but you could see it in his face and hear it in his voice. This guy was checked out. You'd think guys wouldn't relate to a tattooed, face-pierced, platinum-selling singer with millions in the bank. But they did, because the emotional root of Post's spiral wasn't fame. It was escapism. And most men know exactly what that feels like. Whether it's whiskey on weeknights, endless scrolling, casual porn addiction, ghosting your gym membership, or living for the weekends. Men everywhere are numbing themselves the exact same way. What made Post different was that he was honest about it. He wasn't trying to look alpha. He wasn't faking confidence. He was just a man who knew he was slipping, but couldn't stop yet. And that's why so many men connected to him, because behind the chaos, we saw ourselves. Then something shifted. In 22, Post became a father. Around the same time, fans started noticing that he looked different, leaner, more focused, sharper. He lost over 55 pounds. He started showing up to shows early. He went from being barely functional on stage to crushing live performances like a pro. And the biggest move? He gave up alcohol completely. In a recent interview, Post said, "Soda was harder to give up than booze, but I stopped drinking because I wanted to be there for my daughter. I wanted to be present." This wasn't a PR stunt. It wasn't for clout. He wasn't trying to sell a self-help course. He just changed because he had to. The guy who used to stumble through interviews now speaks clearly, looks dialed in, and carries a completely different presence. He didn't just glow up physically, he upgraded spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And men took notice. Post didn't glow up because he got skinny. He glowed up because he stopped being a victim of his own habits. This is what modern masculinity actually looks like. Not perfection, not flashy success, not high-status women, but a man who takes control of his trajectory, especially when he has every excuse not to. Post had every pass in the book, millions in the bank, fans no matter what he did, a team around him that likely enabled everything. But he still decided to clean it up. He chose to stop running. He chose to rewire his relationship with discomfort. He chose to be someone his daughter could respect, not just his fans. That's real masculine power. Not because it's sexy, but because it's rare. Here's the real reason post-transformation matters. Most men aren't alcoholics, but they're still numbing out. You might not have a drinking problem, but you might have a discipline problem. You might not be blacking out, but you're still avoiding the real work. And the worst part? Most guys are high-functioning while they fade. They don't crash, they coast. And coasting is the silent killer of masculine ambition. That's why Post's shift hit hard, because it reminded us, you can fix it, you can get it back. You can pull yourself out of the wall and start climbing again. but you have to choose it. So here's how you do it. This isn't motivation. This is a field guide. Because if Post can come back from years of alcohol, fame, emotional burnout, and bodily neglect, you can reclaim your edge no matter where you are. 1. Cut the numbing agents, don't just limit them. Numbing doesn't have to be extreme. It can be casual, but it's still theft. Every night of beer, weed, porn, or escapism is a night your future self gets robbed. Pick one to eliminate for 30 days, not reduce. Eliminate. If it's alcohol, go 30 days cold. No, just one. If it's porn, block it, delete it, set screen time locks. If it's junk food, clear the fridge. Make it inconvenient. 2. Build the body first, not for looks, for leverage. Post didn't just lose weight, he rebuilt energy. Your body is your fuel system. If you feel tired, foggy, and reactive, your habits are sabotaging your hormonal health. Start simple. 3 full-body lifts per week. Walk 8K, 10K steps per day. 150 grams of protein. Sleep 7 hours like your life depends on it, because it does. Within 30 days, your testosterone, posture, and mental clarity will shift. Your woman will notice. Your coworkers will notice. Most importantly, you will. 3. Own your mornings before the world can weaken you. Most men lose the day before 9 a.m. They check their phone, roll over, scroll, and react. Take it back. First hour of the day, echo movement, sunlight, and strategy. Wake up at the same time. No phone for 30 minutes. Stretch or walk. Journal or write out 3 priorities. Cold shower if you're still tired. Do this for 10 days. You'll feel like a different man. 4. Start saying no, even to good things. Most guys stay soft because they're overcommitted to lukewarm obligations. It's not the bad influences that kill you. It's the ones that keep you busy but unfocused. Say no to social plans that don't move you forward, friends who drain your fire, opportunities that distract from your mission. Entertainment that makes you passive, replace it with 1 hour of deep work, training, or skill building every day. 5. Choose one mission and die on that hill. This is where most men fail. They chase everything and end up becoming nothing. You need a hill to die on, a purpose you defend with your life, a craft you want to master, a vision that makes you immune to temptation. This could be your business, your career, your physique, your family. Whatever it is, it needs to be non-negotiable. That's what makes the glow up real. You're not just cleaning up, you're preparing for war. Here's the thing about Post Malone. He didn't change his environment. He changed himself. He didn't move to Bali or delete social media. He stayed in the spotlight, the music industry, the chaos, and got stronger inside of it. That's not escape. That's evolution. And that's what makes his transformation so masculine. He didn't run from discomfort. He became the man who could dominate it. You want to reclaim your edge? That's your model. Post Malone's glow up isn't about fame. It's not about aesthetics. It's about reclaiming control. And in a world where most men are drifting, coasting, and pretending, he became proof that you can come back from anything. If you're ready to do the same, hit subscribe and join the Chad Guys Brotherhood. This is where men rebuild discipline, edge, and mission, not for approval, but for legacy. You've got the tools, you've got the time. Now you just need the fire. We'll see you in the next one.